Hello YouTube, Team Snow Rabbit here with a Dream Mirror deck profile. Let's hop on into table 500. So the monsters all come in pairs, and your main two are Ikelos Dark and Ikelos Light. You really want to see this one with the Light Field spell ideally, so you can trigger this one's effect and get a search off. But these are your main ones. When she's summoned from a Dream Mirror monster effect, i.e. you're summoning her off of her by tributing her when you have the appropriate or opposite mirror field spell, she summons one from your hand, and she searches any Dream Mirror card. Then we play 2 Black Knight and 1 White Knight. You only really need 1 White Knight. You're only going to float into usually what you'll be doing, you'll be searching this off of either the Tinky or Ikelos if possible, and then during your opponent's turn, you'll tag out into Amara, summon this, pop a card, and then turn this into this, so your opponent can't kill it, and they can usually only target this. You have the white one, and then the next turn you tribute this to go into the other Black Knight for your OTK. So you don't really need more than 1 White Knight. And then for last, the Dream Mirrors, we have 2 Phantastos and Light and 1 Phantastos Dark. So Light reses one when it's summoned off of a Dream Mirror monster effect, so we can use Mara to summon it and then use it to revive like Morpheus to get an Eruption or Ikelos to get a search. And Phantastos is here only to tag out into one of these again. And then for hand traps, we have 3 Ash and 2 Imperm. We also play Trap Trick, so Imperm gets added benefit there. Then on to spells, we play 6 copies of Garnet. This one, if you control a light Dream Mirror, your Dream Mirrors can't. Your opponent can only target the biggest one. That's why the big Morpheus is not as bad as it looks on paper. And this one does burn when they special summon. And then they can tag out into each other at the end phase, which makes one of your actually really good traps live. Then you have the Tinky. I like this card a lot. It searches monsters only, unfortunately, but it makes it where if you have, or if Dream Mirror of Terror is on the board, your opponent's monsters all lose 500, and if Dream Mirror of Joy is on the board, all of yours gain 500. So this actually makes a massive point difference for all of your guys after the search. It's actually great. Then we also play 3 Extra. We only really have 1 extra deck monster. Another one will come out soon, and then we'll still be playing it. Actually, it doesn't matter too much. And then 2 of the fusion spell. If you have the dark up, it's Miracle Fusion. If you have the light up, you can fuse from your hand, and it's a quick play. The boss monster is all right. This is enough. You don't need to make Oneros. It's not particularly desperate that you see it, but it's a good card for the deck. And then the last spell we play is Called by the Grave. Ash really, really hurts if it hits it close. Then for traps, we have 3 of what you could call the win con. It puts 1 of each field spell on either field. Usually we keep the light one. You can search this off Ikelos. Then a little bit controversial maybe, we play 3 Dream Mirror Fantasy. I want to see this card in my hand. It lets you shuffle back 2 of your banished Dream Mirror spells and then banish a card non-targeting, and then it can banish itself to block destruction for a Dream Mirror card or cards you control. This card's amazing. And then for the last the traps, we have 1 of the Dream Mirror counter trap. I play 1. If you're like concerned about evenly, you can search this or Lightning Storm or something and stop it, or Feather Duster, I guess. If you have everything else going first, usually I search this. I thought about siding this and putting it in only going first, but I decided to main it and keep the side slot open. This could be something else though. This could be a second copy of Trap Trick if you want, because we also side artifacts, so Trap Trick can do a lot of different things. But I also don't like limiting myself to like 1 more trap use if I don't have to, so Trap Trick's sort of a mixed bag. We'll go to side deck next. 1 God card, Pank. And then we have artifacts, so we have Scythe, and I also side 1 Lancia, so if I play against Orcust, which we have at our locals a lot, I can side that in along with the artifact engine and get a second charge out of my Sanctum, or just a good hand trap. Seems worth 1 side deck slot. And then for going first, we have 3 Judgment. I do not have Lightnings. I have Lightning Storms or TTT. Back row Destruction, we have these. And then the last of our side deck, we have Evenly Matched. On to extra. So the only monster you're really going to be summoning, honestly, is Oneros. When it counts as both attributes, so you get both field spell effects. If it dies, it floats into a level 8 or lower Dream Mirror, which will trigger its effect because it would be summoned off a Dream Mirror monster. And if a Dream Mirror monster is tributed, it can pop a card. So it's pretty good. I think the next one's better. I think it's a negate, and then it can tag itself into this one, which is pretty cool. So looking forward to that. Next thing we have for Exceeds, I'm actually playing this one spicy as fuck. We got Ragna Zero. So because the Tinky's always up, your opponent's monsters are basically never going to be, because as long as the Dark Field spell's on the board, your opponent's monsters will never be their original attack. So you can just pop stuff with this. I think it's cute. And you can, if you have access to the Phantastos, either of them, you can tag into red and then tag red into white, and then white will tag dark into light, and then light revives the other one, and then you can make a rank 4. So rank 4s are pretty easily accessible. For that reason, we also play Emerald in case we banish 2 of our Oneros off Extra. We can pull them back, and we play Lightning to out Dragoon if it comes up. And then we also play 8s in case we try to OTK and we're unable to quite get to lethal. We can play Dingirsu to out another card, or Hope Harbinger to get an interruption on board. But really, you're not summoning you're really just summoning Oneros most of the time. Then for Dogmatica, we have an Ints, and I don't have a Mechaba, so I put an Omega here so I can like add a card back. Honestly, I kind of do like being able to add cards back because this thing really runs through its resources quickly. But yeah, you could probably take out maybe the Dingirsu and the Omega for Nova Mechaba if you want to, or another Ints or whatever. And then for the last of it, we play Cerberus, Phoenix, Unicorn, and Access Code for the links. And that'll do it. Thank you for watching. Dream Mirror is borderline okay.